When it comes to housing, Hong Kong is by far the most expensive market on Earth. According to Time magazine, the average person would have to save over 23 years' worth of money to afford a modest apartment, and that's without spending a single penny on anything else. That's why 1 in 7 Hong Kongers live in poverty. Of them, roughly 220,000 reside in cage homes or coffin cubicles. The Hong Kong government uses softer language, referring to them as subdivided apartments. In the United States, the average prison cell is about 48 square feet, with enough room for the average prisoner to stand up comfortably. In Hong Kong, the average cage home is about 14 square feet. In other words, you could fit about 3.5 cage homes inside an average prison cell, each housing its own tenant who pays upwards of $200 per month. Cage homes are literally built out of wire, like human-sized chicken coops stacked too high. They're barely long enough for a person to lie down, and one must confine all of their personal belongings to the tight space. In a subdivided apartment complex, there can be upwards of 30 people living in their own private cage homes. Unfortunately, there's nothing private about them. There are no doors and there are no walls. Everyone shares the same shower and toilet. If you're lucky, your building might have 2. Privacy is a luxury that only a handful of Hong Kong's poorest can afford. Those who can live in self-contained bed spaces no bigger than a ping pong table. Think of them like wooden pods with no windows and a lockable sliding door, hence the name coffin cubicle. The coffins come with a few square feet of storage space and working electricity. The walls, however, are made of paper-thin plywood. A Western writer documenting the conditions recalled hearing every punch, kick, and scream from his neighbor's kung fu movie. He could hear people chewing, breathing, and of course, a symphony of snoring all night. Home to roughly 120 million people, Egypt is the 13th largest country by population and the single largest in the Arab world. The problem is that 95% of the population occupies less than 5% of Egypt's total land area. Almost all of them live in cities or settlements on either side of the Nile River. That's because the rest of the country is basically uninhabitable. The largest of these cities is Cairo, the long-standing capital dating back to the 10th century. Like China, Cairo, and Egypt as a whole, saw a population boom over the last 100 years. At the turn of the 20th century, it was home to roughly 650,000 people. Today, it's home to over 22 million. That's 22 million people living in a 1,000 square mile metro area. For comparison, about the same number of people live in the tri-state area, which is 6 times as big. Ironically, overpopulation in the breadbasket of civilization has led to its sharp decline. Buildings have decayed to the point where collapses are almost a daily occurrence.